And basically, I was trained as a psychologist, and I did my PhD in psychology, and then before that I was working in a bank, but long back. That's I forgotten that. And 28 years back, I joined IRMA in 1992, and Ever Institute of Rural Management, Anand. It is located in a place called Anand. If you have heard a name called Amul, and this is the land of Amul, and in fact, this institute was created by the National Dairy Development Board in 1979, and by a great iconic person called Dr. Verghese Kurian. Some of you must have heard his name. Dr. Verghese Kurian brought in the white revolution in the country. And so there I am. Of course, in between had gone to different universities and worked there maybe for a year or so on a so-called leave. And then I came back to IRMA. And today we will be discussing, and I know this is a, sorry, is it visible to you? Something has happened. Is it audible? Am I audible? I need a feedback, because suddenly.
Yes, yes, it is audible. You are audible. You are audible, Professor.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
No, I do not know what's happened. I'm not able to. Okay, now I can.
Present now is there.
Present
now. You just click on the present now, that is there in the right hand side corner.
Now. Okay. A window. Oh no. Okay. Now I want to just a minute, sir. I just whether this permits to yeah. I yeah. This is that. Okay. Oh my God, where is the? Why I don't see my?
You have to click on, sir. You have to click on that.
No, I'm sharing the window. It says that Meet Google is sharing a window, but I.
Sir, it is visible. It's visible, sir.
The PPT is visible to you?
Yes, sir. PPT is visible, and you are also visible to us.
Okay. But there is a problem. I don't see my own PPT. It does not matter. But anyway, I'll do something about it. You are presenting.
Just make it full screen, sir. Just that one icon will be there in the right hand side down. If you click on that, it will show.
Right hand side down on the screen.
Three dots are there, sir.
Okay, right. It says I don't see.
No, after that, the 3 dots. What?
Turn on.
Sir, just click the F5 key on the.
Before the volume, this one.
Okay.
One icon is
just
there, sir.
Press the F5 function key, sir, on keyboard.
F5 also fine. F5.
Turn on captions, full screen.
Yes, sir. Full screen.
Okay. The only problem with full screen is that I will not be able to see you. But anyway, I would like to see your faces. I hope here actually usually I get the PPT on this side on a small screen, and usually I see the participants, but I am not getting that view here. Anyway, let me not spend time on that. So today's topic that we will be discussing is your regulation, self-regulation. How do we regulate, which is a very important part of emotional intelligence. But before I say that, I need to tell you a story. Two stories, in fact. The first story is about Me, when I was very young, I was about 12, 13 years old. And I was just getting early teens. Early teens, you understand, is a very, very difficult time period in a person's life, which Tagore had said that it is neither here nor there. You are neither adult or you are not a child anymore. So those days, I used to get upset very easily. I used to get very angry. So one day, I was upset about something, maybe about food, and my grandfather. I was very angry. Why this did not happen? All of us get angry. And my grandfather called me. He said, you know, Tommy is there. Tommy was our dog, Alsatian dog. What's the difference between you and Tommy? I was slightly perplexed. Tommy and me, there is no difference. Yes, there is a difference. Tommy goes on 4 legs. I have 2 legs. Tommy does not have a brain, that type of brain that I have. All these things is there. I told him that, okay, these are the differences that I and Tommy we have. Then he looked at me and said, do you think that's the only difference you and Tommy had? There's something else that will differentiate you from Tommy. Then I was a little bit perplexed. I said, what is the difference? He said, look, Tommy, when Tommy gets upset, Tommy will bark. When Tommy is excited, Tommy will run helter-skelter. Does not matter who is there, what's the time, it does not matter. The difference between you and Tommy is that if you get angry, if you get upset, you can think about it. You can think about your anger. You can think about your happiness, which Tommy cannot do. Human beings are the greatest creatures because they can think about their thoughts. Very recently, it happened day before yesterday. And I am telling you, it's a very personal story. Our family, something had happened, and all of us were very upset. Very sad thing had happened. A very close family member had passed away at a young age. So I had gone with my family to my hometown, and we were coming back. The flight in the Delhi airport was a stopover. And the Delhi airport, as we were about to board the flight, suddenly we discovered that my wife had left her charger somewhere. So she told my son that I have left my charger someplace very close by. Why don't you go and pick it up? So my son, without looking at me, he ran to pick it up. Mother has said it. Mother's wish has to be fulfilled. So he runs, and he takes some time, and everyone was boarded. The boarding had started, and every person was already, they had gone into the flight. We were outside. So I was very upset. I became very upset, very angry. But we have different expressions. So I was very upset with myself. I said, why did we allow? I told my wife, and my voice and my tone was very high and highly emotional. It happened just yesterday, Sunday. It happened on Sunday. That's the time this lady from Indigo, she was looking after the boarding. She comes to me and look at it. And I request all of you to listen to this. She comes to me. She says, sir, don't get upset. We will wait. I know your son has gone and it is not far off. So he will come back and we will wait. There's enough time. Sir, why don't you take a seat? Please relax. Don't worry. You know, her words, the moment she said, don't worry, please take your seat, relax, we will wait for you. It's a flight, there's yet we have time because they board very early also. You know, her words at that point in time had such an impact on me. Of course, I was upset. I took a seat, but I cooled down immediately because of her presence. And I immediately realized that, my God, this girl, though I talk about emotional intelligence, I talk about self-regulation, we do all the time, but you know, you look at this girl, that she is a very naturally gifted with this ability to soothe. It's a part of emotional intelligence. I'll come to it. It is not only that how we regulate ourselves, how we influence others also to regulate themselves, and that's what we will discuss. And I know in this, let me reiterate something which all of you know, that the times of pandemic, when the lockdown started in March, all of us were inside our homes. And first few days maybe we managed, and after that certain sort of feelings came in, and certain desperation also. Like, I'll tell you, when I rejoined, I was on leave, and when I rejoined, I had to take sessions, and my director told me that, okay, we have decided to go online, and we'll have to take classes online. You know, I've been a traditional teacher, a chalk and board teacher. You understand that, it's board and a chalk, and that's what we had as an instrument, a teaching aid. And before this internet, all these things, we used to use transparencies, overhead projector and transfer. Then PPTs came and all that. But online is very different. In a class, you see the students, you get their responses, and you go as per the students' responses. And okay, because you are always scanning as teachers, all of you do this. That you are, whenever you say something, you are always scanning for their feedback. No one says, no one utters a word, but just by looking at the face, you detect certain emotions in them, and you also understand whether they have understood or not. When that thing is missing, we as teachers, all of us, I include all of you, we feel at times helpless. We said, oh my God, what is this? I am talking to a camera. But slowly, we also start learning from it. So what today I'll be talking about is part of emotional intelligence. The whole program is about emotional intelligence. And I would also request you to mute and unmute whenever you can. Please speak whenever you want to. So unmute yourself and mute yourself after you have spoken whatever you wanted to say. I think that's, is that okay? Can you is that facility given there? I want some sound feedback.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is there. That's there.
Okay. So I want you people everyone to join in and say and stop me if you have not understood something, or if you think it is too fast, going too fast. Please stop me and ask questions. I love questions, and questions. Without questions, how do we? First of all, what is emotional intelligence? You know, sorry. When we talk about emotional intelligence, people have been talking about, there are two different words: emotions and intelligence. Intelligence was supposed to be, I think, there was a famous person called Francis Galton. And Galton was a cousin of the person who talked about evolution, theory of evolution. I forget. I'm so forgetful, sir.
Charles Darwin.
Charles
Sir.
Darwin.
Yes, Charles Darwin. Yes, that's. Dr. Rao, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rao. That is the Charles Darwin cousin was Galton. And Galton, he subscribed to Darwin's this theory of evolution and survival of the fittest. And he was trying to find if there is any common factor among those who survive better. Is there any? And we call it a G factor. That's a general factor of intelligence. And he said there's something called intelligence. And it is a general ability of human beings which helps them to survive. And he also, with very limited understanding maybe, you cannot agree with whatever Galton did. He also said that this intelligence is genetic. It's that it flows. And one of the arguments he gave, very interesting argument he gave, that look, in my family, Charles is such a great person. My brother is a lawyer, and the other is a great banker, and I am a great scientist and author. And so it is intelligence runs in our family. And based on that, he said that, okay, this is what is inherited or genetic, which is not true, of course. We know that in humanity it is distributed normally. So that's it. But anyway, he started something. And for a long time, emotion was kept in a separate domain. And emotion and rationality were thought to be, psychologists say that they are inversely related. So they do not operate together. Yes, they do not operate together, but there are certain things where human beings have greater capability of utilizing both the streams. So I will come to that. So a lot of research in the last 30 years, more than 30 years, a lot of research has been done on emotional intelligence. That one is that they succeed in relationships, live a happier life, they have higher self-confidence, they excel under uncertainty. Whenever things are uncertain, many people, they succeed where everything is certain. You are given and they will succeed there. But in real life, most things are uncertain. Most things are uncertain. We do not know how life will go, what will take us where, and what are things that we need to do. But people who figure it out well are the people with high emotional intelligence. They act on their ideas, they use their emotions for new ideas, and excellent leaders. They are excellent leaders. Now, basically, when we talk about emotional intelligence, it is our ability to understand and regulate our own feelings and that of others. This is very important. That's what we will, and today we'll discuss on how we regulate our feelings. But you need to understand that emotional intelligence comprises of these four things: perceive emotion in self, perceive emotion in others, regulate one's own emotions, and help others in managing their emotions. So whenever you are able to achieve these four things, I think you have attained what we call is a highly state of emotional intelligence. And let me tell you one thing: those who are high on emotional intelligence, they are themselves just not happy people. They are happy, but they also make life around people around them lot more easier. Lot more, there are some people in this world, their very presence makes you tense. Their very presence is irritating. They, wherever they go, they create a sort of a uneasiness among people. And of course, that is, creating uneasiness among your foes is fine, but creating uneasiness among so-called friends is not good. And that's where emotionally intelligent people go, and they avoid doing that. So they are not only happy themselves, but they make others happy. Now, what are the things involved? I'll just anyway. We talked about that 4 matrix that for 2 by 2. One is something about self, and the other is social or others. Second is on this axis, it's a 2 by 2 matrix. This axis is awareness and regulation. So self-awareness is basically ability to recognize mood, emotions, and drives within us, understand its effect on others. Like for example, if I am sad, I become sad, what is its impact on others? That's what I'll have to. If I am happy, what is its impact on others? For example, as teachers, and I'm telling you because all of you are teachers, I'm telling you this as teachers, we may choose to, of course, teachers, when I'm talking about teachers of adult children, adults, not children, we have a particular stance. We treat them as equal. And there, for example, remember, those who are experienced teachers will know that if, as a teacher, my face gives up a feeling of uncertainty, feeling of anger, feeling of irritation, what will happen? What will happen when that happens? When people get irritated, they also make others irritated. So understanding what effect you are having, not that you are irritated. The moment you get irritated, you transfer that irritation to others. When you get sad, you transfer that, because emotions, always remember, emotions are contagious. And we can have positive emotions, we can have negative emotions. Second, of course, so first is the self-awareness. Second is social awareness, ability to understand mood and emotions of others and respond appropriately to that emotions. So that's the second window. The third is self-regulation, ability to control and redirect. But to put it very briefly, thinking before acting. You know, there is this, I don't know, you might have heard a name called Daniel Kahneman. Daniel Kahneman is a psychologist who belongs to 2 different countries, US and Israel. And he won Nobel Prize in economics. He's the first psychologist who got Nobel Prize in economics and a founder of behavioral economics. He has written an excellent book. Some of you might have read that book, Thinking Fast and Thinking Slow. And he says that when we think too fast or act fast, we commit certain errors. And he calls it heuristic biases. And those heuristic biases leads us to wrong decisions, to take wrong decisions, wrong paths. Therefore, when we talk about self-regulation, one of them, I'll talk about it in greater length, maybe a few minutes from now, that you will have to think so whenever, and that's what the title of the book is, Thinking Fast, you know, and thinking so. Of course, there is a certain positive things about thinking fast. Nature has created us to think fast for 2 reasons. One is survival. That survival from physical harm. For example, you are going and see a tiger. If you start reflecting about the tiger, there may not be much time left, and the tiger might jump at you and eat you up. So therefore, thinking fast, I'll talk about it as we go by, but thinking fast is important survival mechanism. But in the civilized world, what has happened, the evolutionary psychology tells us that certain things, because you know, 90% of our existence on earth, we have spent in jungles. We have spent in caves. This civilization is only about 5,000 years old. 10,000 years is approximately 10,000 years old is settled agriculture. And before that, maybe more than 100,000 years, as a human being, Homo sapiens, we have spent in jungles and caves. So certain things which nature gave us at that point in time was very useful for our protection, for our survival. Now I'll ask at this point in time, I'll ask one question and I require some answer from some of you. Okay, when you get into a restaurant, imagine that you are getting into a restaurant. And there are two options. One is an option where your back is to the door, that means the opening. That's the seat you can get. There's another option is the seat where you're back to the wall and you can look at the door, through the door. You can look at the opening, people coming in. Which one would you prefer? Are you getting this question? So I want a response. Which?
So we would say, can I?
Shall I repeat it once again?
Sir,
the question is this. You have got into a restaurant. You have two options. Option A is that you can take a chair where your back is to the door and your face is to the inside of the restaurant. Yes, option B. Second option is your back is to the wall, one of the walls, and your face is to the door where you can see people coming and going. So that is B. So which one will you prefer, A or B?
A, sir.
Sir, B, sir.
B.
Sir,
B.
B. B.
B.
Yeah.
Sir. Yeah, you can use the chat box. I think that's the best.
B, sir.
Sir, B, sir.
Most people, yeah, I see lots of B. Okay, great. Maximum, I'll take some time and then I'll let you know how many people had B. But it is tremendous. The vote for B is it is because, and it comes to us. It comes to us because most of us would prefer our wall to the our back to the wall and face to the door or opening where people are. You can see people coming in and going. This has come to us. Evolutionary psychologists will tell you that it comes to us from our days in the caves that we spent in. There was a necessity to always look at the opening of the cave, to have a watch. To watch whoever is coming in, whoever is going out. Maybe a snake will come, a tiger will come to visit, or a lion will come. So if you're back to the wall, you can still fight. You can see, first of all, you'll have to see the animal coming in, getting in. And from the cave days, though today the restaurants don't pose such threat, though no lion will come but you still prefer. Your back to the wall inside and your face to the outside, so you can see whoever is coming. And many architects will tell you that whenever they are designing a house and all that, they keep that, suppose the kitchen is open and you can see whoever is coming and all that. So designers take care of that. So therefore, the point is that many such things we carry out from the days of living in caves, which may not be the right thing to do now. Things have changed drastically, but we still carry on those things. Okay. So the question is that just a minute. The question is that we have two things. Those things which help us to do things fast, they help us. They helped us during our days in the cave. They may not be helpful now. And emotions, all our emotions, they grew under that conditions, and we developed strong emotions, and our emotions have been helpful in saving us. Now, one What is emotion? Basically, it's an automatic response system. Automatic response system means you are given a challenge from your environment. Environment puts up some challenge to you. And that challenge is a challenge to your, or it's a threat to your existence. It may be physical existence, and it may be your, what we call is a non-physical, or your subtle existence, or your emotional existence. The moment that that threat is there, I'll talk about that slightly later. Whenever there is a threat, you immediately want to respond. And that is, and emotions gives us, emotions help us to respond to those things. Sorry, this came in, just a minute, I think I can. Okay, you see this picture, and now I request your, you see another picture. When you see the first picture, what happened to you? When you saw the first picture, what happened to you?
Felt calm and serene, sir.
Yeah.
So it's actually a very scenic beauty.
Yeah. And when you saw the next picture, second picture, someone is bitten, and what did you feel?
It disturbed us.
Disgust. Yes, that's the right word, sir. Disgust.
Disturbed.
It was disgusting. Now, when this feeling, and I would request all of you to reflect on this thing, that when you had that feeling of happiness, what happened to you after that? Oh, yes, we are happy. So what happens when you are happy? What happened when you are happy?
We can make others happy also.
We will respond happily. When we are happy, we will respond happily, coolly, or calmly.
Absolutely. But now just imagine, these were just pictures. These were just pictures. And just reflect on this issue. Just a simple picture. It has got nothing to do with you. It is far removed from you. It is not a direct, it is not a threat to you. But it has the power to evoke strong emotions in you. Like someone used a term, very right term, that is disgust. A picture was able to. I will give you another example. I know all of you are highly respected individuals. We are all teachers and respected person. But just for the sake of imagination, just imagine you have an option of being physically thrashed, say 5 slaps. Don't take it seriously, yeah? This is just and abusive words for 10 minutes. Someone will abuse you and you can do nothing. Which one will you prefer? These both are negative, highly negative things. But usually what will you prefer?
Which one is less negative?
Most people prefer that thrash me, give me 5 slaps, but don't abuse me. Are you getting this? In my office, I have written, I can now, technology helps us to, I don't know whether you are able to see this. Are you able to see my camera movement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here, do you see a lady's picture here? And she's an African American lady. Are you able to see?
No, sir. No.
Okay. What do you see? Because I am somehow or other, I am not getting the view.
The picture is a little bit, we are showing small pictures, sir, like little distance. Camera is little.
I will read it up for you, and maybe I'll figure it out, because I am not able to. You see, yeah, wound of sword is wound of. I saw a very good chat. Excellent. Someone has given. Turn on. Can I see the chats? Let me see. I saw a very good word.
Yes, sir. Myself, Rajendran from Tamil Nadu.
Yeah. Sir, can you repeat it? It was wonderful. You said something. A word, sir. Can you say that?
A wound of sword versus wound of word.
Yes. And I found it. It just came flashed on my screen and then went out. But I was just touched by it. Anyway, so here
Thank you,
there
sir.
was a person. She was a human rights activist in the United States, Maya Angelou, and she said one that I have learned, and I'm just saying it. I'm reading it out, and it's wonderful quotation. And she said this: I have learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. If you make people feel good about things, and yeah, physical scar heals, but mind scar does not, and that's what we all of us will have to understand, and that's what emotional intelligence was all about. I will come to this. Like, for example, here you see this picture. You feel good about it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Because no, nature, it is nature, and nature, because we have been in the lap of nature for more than 100,000 years. That is inside us. Though we have now created cities and all that and all these things, but nature is in us. It makes, the moment you are closer to nature, you feel happy. Even if you stay on a 10th floor apartment in a huge or in a tall apartment building, there also human beings take their pots from the garden. They create a garden there in the small balcony. You will find too. Why do we do that? Because we want to be with nature, and that creates a positive emotion, a nostalgic emotion. So I am just telling you so that you please note it down now. Now I will show you another picture. What do you feel about it? Does
Sad.
it make you happy?
No, sir.
Sad.
Sad.
Sad, yes. And this is something that we don't like. Okay, this is human beings like us, and this is what. So we will feel happy under certain things. And this, I took this picture long back. Somewhere they were constructing. Um, yeah, what do you call, a bridge across the river, and I took the sun, and it was both modern and also natural. But once our happiness is broken by these structures, so that's what I wanted to. Now I will discuss about the characteristics of emotion, and this is a story I am going to tell you, and please listen to me. They said these two brothers, Ramulu Shamulu, and they are going, and they see snake on the way. You know, Shamulu, who is a quick action, his actions are quick. No, Shamulu is slow thinker. Ramulu is quick. So the moment Ramulu saw the snake, he was afraid, he was scared, he did not think, he ran away. Shamulu said, "Why to run away? There's a snake. And let me find out," because he was a thinker type. He was thinking a lot. So he said, "Let me check whether the snake is poisonous or non-poisonous." Unfortunately for him, it was a crate and comes and bites him and he dies. What happens? Shamulu's genetic pool, that the genes that he was carrying, got lost because both of them were not married. Ramalu, he transferred his genes to other descendants, and those genes carried and genes that we carry is where if you see snake, the immediate reaction will be, what will be the immediate reaction? Yes, sir. What will be the immediate reaction?
To run away.
To run away. That's a very natural, the right, because that is what nature has given, and our genes that we possess have given us. Told us, okay, you need to, if you see a snake, don't try to think, you think fast and run away. So thinking fast has also helped us to survive this world. But it also created, the emotions were created, and there is a place here I will talk. So here is our brain, and here there is a lower part of the brain. There is an amygdala, which basically controls our emotions. It does not, it knows that if you are emotional, now there's a threat to your existence. If there is a threat, there has to be a rapid action. Rapid action force has to be there in the field. And what the rapid action force will do, it will immediately make you run away from danger. So, but what happens if the information flows to our new brain? It will start, because there's the analysis center for analysis there, it will start analyzing. It will take time. And if it takes time, you might die of a snake bite. So please don't think slow, think fast. But, so nature is an inbuilt thing. Now we'll have to, and that's what I wanted to tell you. Many people say, sir, this is a natural thing for me. Naturally, I do this. But if you are being natural, the problem is that around you, the whole human society has undergone a drastic change. You cannot be natural. If you are natural, it will be difficult for you to exist in a society. To not only exist, to be effective in the society. So you will have to do something to it. You see, I'm getting back to this snake thing. You see a snake on the road you see a snake, a tiger, a lion, when you used to live in the caves. And you see a snake and you are afraid. Immediately, the impulse is to run away, and you run away. You are safe. But in modern life, in our day-to-day existence, there are no snakes, real snake, no real tiger, no real lion. But around us, there are lot of paper tigers, paper lions, paper snakes. Paper tigers, paper lions, paper snakes are those letters, those words. For example, the love letter from your boss. You understand the love letter from the boss? It is not that love letter, it is
Yes, sir.
yeah. And when it comes, or an email, a very what do you call, terse email comes to you, what happens to you? The same reaction, but the difference is that you are threatened, your existence gets threatened. But the problem is that you cannot run away. You can run away from a tiger, you can run away from a lion, you can run away from a snake, but you cannot run away from those paper tigers. You cannot go, and if the boss has said, like for example, I remember when I was working in a bank long back, I had a very tough boss. You can call it tough or sadistic, whatever you want to, and he would always shout and all that. Though inside me, I felt like thrashing him up or running away, I could not do either. The flight or fight response that actually things evoke in us, we cannot display that, and that causes a lot of problems. And in nature you can do that, in civilized society you cannot do that. So how to get about it? If you cannot do that, you will be extremely stressed. You will lose. So how do you do it? And that is where the whole notion of emotional intelligence comes in, and I'll talk about it. So basically, when we talk about emotions, it has 5 functions: survival, decision making. Boundary decision making means our emotions help us. Should I do this? Should I buy that? Okay, and our emotions help us whenever you are in a decision dilemma. You know, for example, you are going to buy a vehicle, a car, and you come across cars. Maybe there are two colors. One is black and another is white. You don't have much choice. But if you find that there's a red, there is other color, there are other colors, then you take a decision. What is that decision? What helps you to take that decision? Yes, choice of colors in a car, or in your bike, or your shirt color. Yes, yes, Mr. Rao, Dr. Rao, Kameshwar Rao.
Sir, our emotions, our feelings, sentiments, we can say.
Yes, all these decisions are emotional. Emotional, most decisions. Should I buy a shirt from a particular brand, another brand? That's emotional decision. In fact, if I say this, most of us are married. Maybe I get to know from this crowd that most of us maybe. But look at it. This decision itself is it a decision like you decide on taking a maybe what do you call, a rational decision or an emotional one? Okay. Yes. I know most people will be very reticent to. Yeah, some will argue, yes, sir, yes, it's emotional. Some people will argue that it is rational.
Rational.
Rational, sir?
Yes.
Yes, very good. Yes. It is if you look at it, some way it is rational, but largely it is emotion because you have somewhere in you a feeling that I should have a companion, a human companion. And that human company, there are maybe other factors also. I'm not getting into that there are other factors, but the most predominant factor is human company. And someone with whom you can confide, in whom you can trust. Whether we achieve it or not, that's a separate story. But we all have that and desire, and that is largely for emotions. There is no rule for that. There is no rule, and that's where we say that it's an emotional decision, largely, and not always, but it is largely an emotional decision. So there was this Robert Plutchik, and emotion is a very interesting field. Sorry, and he did what we call like color wheel. He said that okay, there will be a wheel of emotions, and you will find that there are different types of emotions he has leveled. I'll just, yes. So from joy, trust, terror, surprise, these are all emotions. Disgust, anger, anticipation, and just let me. Okay, first let me do this. So you see this wheel of emotion. All of you are able to see this wheel of emotion. Yeah, I need some voice.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we
So,
can see.
Yes.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
See, yeah. That's, these are the emotions. Look at it. And these are natural emotions. You see, the top from the bottom, it is a very low intensity and it goes and becomes stronger. So always know that emotions are, they have direction. They can be positive, negative. Emotion can also vary in intensity. It can be mild emotion, it can be strong emotion. And that is what we deal with. When your emotions are mild, it is okay. No, you need not really worry about it. But point is that when our emotions become very strong, nowadays I find many kids, many children, I've seen my children also sometimes, they use certain intense word to describe something. Like for example, Papa, I don't like it. I hate it. I always say, why do you use the term hate? can you use a milder term? Can you say that I don't like it? Because always remember, and please take note, the words that we use for ourselves and for others, they determine our thinking. So our words that we use, they determine, and words are powerful. Words are very powerful thing. You use a word of hatred, what will happen? Then the thoughts will come. Thoughts related to hate. Then that will affect your emotions. Your thoughts will affect your emotions. And your emotions will affect your action. And that is very dangerous. It will also, and please understand, all our emotions. Positive emotions, maybe in my second class when I have it with you on Wednesday, I will talk about how it works. If you have positive emotions, positive things will happen to your body. If you have negative emotions, lot of, say for example, those who are very depressive, they are sad always, or they are very angry always. There's no smile. They take life so seriously, they don't have time to smile. The point is that life does not take them very seriously. And that's the beauty of it. They will have health issues. Most people who are either sad or they experience disgust or anger are more likely to have cardiac related. Most of the problems that you have, for example, diabetes. Diabetes is triggered by stress, and sometimes, not all in all cases, genes also have a role to play in that. But largely now the findings are coming very fast. That it says that okay, you think and you will have it. The way you think will make your life, and that's so. And for this thinking, the words that you use for yourself and others. So the whole idea is to transform this. The idea is to, how do I transform? For example, from disgust to trust. This journey, how do you make this journey possible from disgust to trust? And that we'll discuss. Then, for example, your journey from sadness to joy. Can I change it? Can I change it? Do I have a way to change it? Yes. Sir, yes, sir.
By being positive.
Yeah, how do I think positive? Now, I will give you a small secret. I will share with you a small secret. The small secret is this. First step is words. Yes, man. I hear some. Just a minute. I hear a voice. Please, ma'am. Yes. My summer my sound thing was low, but any input? Okay. So how do we change it? Sorry. Subrat that. Any. Okay. Okay. Let me. Subrat, that.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah, sir. Please.
Sir, are there any relationship between emotions and defense mechanisms?
Defense mechanism. Yes.
Any relationship between emotions and defense mechanisms, sir?
Reflex. You are talking about reflex.
Are there any relationship between emotions and defense mechanisms, sir?
Defense mechanism? Are you saying
defense mechanism? Yes, sir. Yes, defense mechanisms.
You see, defense mechanism was a construct which was given by Sigmund Freud, a physicist who became interested in psychology and founded a school called psychoanalysis. So they use a very different set of terminology. Maybe we can say, but defense mechanism is also an act of emotion. That is an act of emotion. Mr. Subrata Dutt, you want to say something, Dr. Dutt? You want to say something because your ear is open, mic is on, so okay, fine. Okay, I will get on with this. So so we need to, and how do we do this? So the secret is, how do you transform a rage to ecstasy, a fear to admiration, your sadness to joy, or disgust to trust? How do you do this? There are 2-3 ways I will do. The first is the words. I would always remember, always say that if you are, for example, are you when you are angry, you understand your anger emotion. You ask yourself, can you label it? Say, okay, I'm not angry, but I'm very upset. Can you say that to yourself? I'm very upset. The moment you use the term upset instead of anger, that moment you say that I do not like it instead of hate, you are actually transforming the strength of your emotions. You are changing the strength from a strong emotion. You are actually reducing its strength by a lighter emotion. Are you getting this? Is it clear? Because this is the most important.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That use words which are not so extreme, which are not an extreme thing, which are milder. So this is what we do in what we call is a neuro linguistic programming, or NLP. In NLP, we work on the words that you use, because there is a your programming, mind is programmed. So it has programmed under certain context, it is programmed to use certain words. And if you use those words, you have emotions attached to that word that comes in. You know, all words have emotions. Like I in my class, I use something called, when you use a word, mom, mother, what happens to you? A set of emotion comes. When you use the, now we have associated that. While growing up, we have associated some emotions with certain words. And immediately certain types of feelings come in. And you can, yes, love and care. Very good. That's what we have. So we can, when first step is reduce the strength of your emotion. The second is what you call what we call is a cognitive reframing. I'll come to that, but before that, I want you to know something else. When emotion and emotional intelligence, there's a word, another word that is used is I have already discussed. And basically, intelligence also helps us to survive in this world. Emotions help us to survive. Intelligence also helps us to survive. And when we talk about intelligence, we are talking about our ability to respond to this, so that we can adapt to this world. And respond in such a manner so that we can adapt to the changing world, because the world is always changing. And earlier people thought that there is only one type of emotion. Sorry, intelligence, and that is your cognitive intelligence, which Galton had thought of. But slowly people thought that no, there is no one intelligence. There are different types of intelligence. Anyone, earlier we used to think anyone who does very good in maths must be very intelligent. May not be. And there's a Gardner, he found out that there are what we call is 8 types of intelligence. You know, what we have, that some people have linguistic intelligence. Let me go and ask her. Are you able to see the PPT there? Okay. So Gardner.
Yes, sir.
So he talked about 8 types of intelligence. One intelligence is linguistic intelligence. Some people, they use the right word. They know exactly what is the right word to express. What is the, like, for example, lawyers, poets, authors, they know how to play with words, how to juggle. We teachers are also. So if you want to be a good teacher, all good teachers should have this linguistic intelligence. Otherwise, they will have some difficulty, because we ultimately communicate through words. Then there is something called is a logico-mathematical intelligence, solving abstract, going to abstract level. Not just going case by case, not just going from just incidents, but going for common or framework, fundamental rules, and that is logico-mathematical intelligence. Then there is something called. Are you able to identify the picture of a person on visual spatial?
Yes, sir.
Who is that person?
Einstein.
No, Einstein is logico-mathematical. Yes, Einstein.
Yeah.
And just below Einstein, there's another picture.
Visuals.
Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, sir, great. Thank you so much. Yes, Leonardo da Vinci was credited with this great ability to actually visualize things. In fact, he was the person who had given the first design of an helicopter, and Leonardo da Vinci. So visual spatial architects are good, painters, sculptors. All those people are very good in visual spatial. Then interpersonal intelligence. Okay, this every Indian will, because we have currency notes, so we know that. And this man, great man, empathy and whatever you call, but over and above all these things, he had excellent human skill, interpersonal intelligence. Interpersonal intelligence is that this ability to deal with others, with other human beings. How do you deal with other human beings? That's why he is such a great human. Mahatma, we call him Mahatma. Then we have something called, there's a spelling error here. This will be interpersonal intelligence. And interpersonal intelligence is that how do you communicate with your own self? Do you understand your own self? Have you looked at that self? And that is intrapersonal intelligence. And emotional intelligence is actually a combination of interpersonal intelligence and intrapersonal intelligence. Then there's something called naturalistic intelligence. There's someone who is able to understand nature well. They understand the trees, they understand the air, they understand the. And these people are environmentalists. If you want to get those who are environmentalists have a very high degree of naturalist intelligence. Then musical intelligence. Are you able to identify the picture of musical intelligence? Do you see the
Bismillah Khan.
Bismillah Khan.
Yeah.
Bismillah Khan.
And on the top,
Nadia Comaneci.
yes, sir. Sir.
Yes.
I said Nadia Comaneci. So that's why I just would like to see your face, sir, for a minute. Is it possible to see?
Hello.
Okay, you are. I remember.
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
Yes, sir. You must have watched the 1976 Montreal Olympics. Yes, sir.
Yes, I was student at that time myself.
Yes, sir. And all of us, including you and me, I was doing that in 1976 Montreal Olympics, and both of us,
10 out of 10,
and myself, we both of us fell in love with her.
Yes, Nadia Comaneci. Thank you.
Yes, and she's a wonderful, and this is known as your kinesthetic intelligence, that bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Bodily kinesthetic intelligent people, they remember by doing. So there are different people. Some people, for example, musical intelligence. In musical intelligence, many of you may know about it, that Musical people have great ears. If you are not able to hear properly, you cannot be a musical genius. So here, your auditory function is, and some people use it. So some people are very good at it. They, by listening, if you tell them a story, they will remember. You know the tone, the pitch of voice, they will remember. So people come with different intelligence, and this, they say that emotional intelligence is somewhere a mix of interpersonal intelligence and interpersonal intelligence, and maybe a bit of others. Now I will share with you one situation. Yes, you are in a meeting, your CEO is present and taking down notes. When a colleague takes credit for work that you have done, what do you do? Have you got the question?
Yes, sir.
So, and now I am giving this. First is, I want you to respond to this. What are your immediate feelings? What are your immediate feelings?
Angry. We become angry.
Yes, you will be angry. You will be upset.
Upset, yeah.
But how come? I had done this work. I had developed this course plan. I did this, and this fellow is taking it away. So usually, what should be your reaction? Yeah, usually you will be angry, you will be upset. What will be your? Now you can use the chat box, please.
Send one message, sir, we want one official photo of you sitting on the chair in the table at dining table.
Okay, now, yeah. Yes.
Because it is coming in the website for first attraction.
Yes. You can use the chat box, please. For what will you do? What will you do?
Okay, sitting and talking something.
Yeah.
I will argue.
Argue, yes, sir. Usually people will. Now I will give you 4 options, and I will tell you. So, are you able to see these 4 options? Are you able to see the 4 options?
Sir, please read out, sir, please.
Yes, sir.
So,
sir, please read out, sir.
Ajay, you are not able to see this. I will read it out, but just a minute.
We can see, sir.
You can see now. You can see. Better if you. So which one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one would you go for? You can use your. Please use your chat box to give. Don't use your mic. Use the chat box. I want to see that. What is your opinion on this? 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll go back straight away and get there and see your on the chat box. 244. I see, please quickly. 244, 2, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Come for now. 2, 2. Oh, great. 4, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4. Still coming in. I'll spend 1 more minute on this. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 4. 2, 4, 4, 4, 3. Okay, 4, 4. Great. So I will close this now. Let me get back. So what we have got as of now, most people have gone for 4. Most people have gone for 4. Now, and let me tell you, I'm doing a bit fast because we don't have much time. Yes, 4 is the option. Because why? Let us do this. If you do 1, immediately confront over the ownership, what will happen? What
Emotions. Argument will be.
Oh, what your CEO and other
Argument.
Your other colleagues will think about you. They will think that you are always fighting. You are getting into a conflict. Any person who gets into conflict too often is not considered good by others. The person may think, look, I am a fighter, but actually your colleagues will never consider you as a, they will say that he is a or she is a cantankerous. So it is not right. Second option, after the meeting, take the colleague aside and tell that she should have given you the credit. What is the problem with that?
But we will not get our credit in front of everyone.
Exactly, I got it. Yes, ma'am. You will not get, madam, but madam said just now you will not get the credit. And that's not good. Then the third is nothing. It is not a good idea to confront your colleagues. Not doing anything is also not good. But the fourth, okay, so many people have given 4. So what is the reason you have given 4? Can someone just volunteer for it to say why you have given 4? Yes, Dr. Kameshwar.
Sir, can I?
Sir, yeah, can I start?
Okay, I'll come to you. They will say, but Kameshwar now.
Yes,
sir.
Yes.
When we say that in the front of all others, we will also sharing the credit. And finally, what is our contribution, all other people will know. And finally, we will be able to put our efforts in front of the other people.
Absolutely. And Debasmita?
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, when we are thanking somebody, we are giving her the credit, so it gives an impression that we are not jealous, or we don't look others down, and at the same time we are giving a credibility to our own work.
Great.
Sir, can I say one thing, sir?
Yeah, yes.
So if you take the fourth option, you will not carry the resentment for a long time. It's done and over then. That is the best option then.
I think, Chandra madam, you said one very important thing you made. One very important point you made, Chandra madam, that not carrying the resentment. You are not catching that person in the wrong way. And please understand, it takes us a lot of time to make friends, to bring people on board, to become our good colleagues. It takes very little to antagonize someone. Within you just say one word and the antagonism, and that person will remember it forever. Instead of that, you say, thank you, sir, so much. Thank you, ma'am, so much. And you have, but anyway, and I am thanking her for the fact that she has brought it up in the meeting, and this has this impact. Yes, ma'am, Sandhya, ma'am, you wanted to say something. Sorry that ma'am.
Same thing, sir. Instead of directly confronting them, instead of having the negativity, we can smoothly we can get our own credit, and we can also avoid the conflict.
Sir, can I say?
Yes, sir. Ma'am, yes, please.
Sir, if work is important, credit for one task is not important. Boss may be looking at other aspects also. So it really doesn't matter that on one point of time, if we are not getting credit and our team member is getting a credit, work should be done.
Yeah, Dipali madam, what you said is good, but with a small qualification, I would say. Once in a while, it is fine. But in an office atmosphere, in a place where things are very competitive, if you do not do this, sometimes wrong people might get the limelight, and that might not be good for the organization at the time. So there.
Can I add one more point?
Yes, sir. Please.
If in the first instance, if we don't react, that may continue for someday. We have to confront that. We have to do this. If we don't do in the first instance, maybe this may continue with the second, third, and other things. But till we restrict. So at any point of time, we have to do. Instead of taking much time, in the first instant, if we stop our colleague to take the advantage, it will be very good, I hope.
Absolutely. Sir, Rao has very clearly put it, that first time, if you don't do this, you will not just bring harm to yourself, you will also be affecting the organization in the long run. So therefore, it is your responsibility to say, okay, I am very thankful, and that's all. So, yes, I heard that. One more comment. Yes.
One more point can I add, sir?
Yeah, yes, Dr.
If this thing carries on third time, second time, fourth time, these emotions, our emotions will be badly hurt, and someday it will break up, it will blast, it will do anything.
And we will feel bad about it later also. Great, sir. And
So can I add, sir,
yeah.
can I just
Yeah,
add one thing?
Please,
So like we say that we confronting on the spot actually may put the person down, or maybe we get a chance for ourselves. But like we have a proverb, we give the most responsible task to the most notorious boy in the class. So this is the case here. If somebody is not understanding his or her position, when we are making him feel that we are appreciating him as well as we are putting our work, so it gives a better impression for a lasting time.
Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am. And it's me. Okay, I'll just very quickly go over this, but I'll just ask you, just a minute. What's the emotion that you see here? Okay. What's the emotion? Very easy.
Positive. So positive emotions.
Yes. Most of you, I think it's very easy to positive. But can you, from this look, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 emotions are listed. Can you say which emotion you see here?
Happiness.
Sir, happiness, sir.
Very easy. But here,
Happiness.
next slide. What sort of emotion you see?
Sad.
Just this is why I showed it to you. That is for happiness. But I would like all of you to closely look at the picture and tell me what emotion you are seeing.
Disgust.
Yes, it is. It is not just simply disgust. It is simply not sadness, but a combination of sadness and disgust. It's a complex emotion. There are some emotions which are very simple emotions. You can easily detect sadness, happiness. Easily, you can see the person and you can. But there are complex emotions. This is a Hindi film, I think, and from there it has been taken. The great actors always they have this ability to convey or portray very complex emotions. I will quickly run over this because we don't have much time, but I will just focus on now self-regulation. Just a minute. Self-regulation or self-management is the ability to understand your emotions and then use that understanding to turn situations to your benefit. How do we? So, self-regulation is very important. So, how do we do it? We have discussed some forms of self-regulation. Basically, it has certain steps. Emotional self-control, we can reflect on our emotions. For example, it does not matter. I was angry at yesterday at the airport. I became very upset. No, that is not wrong. We become upset. As I told you, your colleague takes credit for, you will become upset. That is not a problem. Problem is that when we become upset and we give in to that upset, instead of that, we can ask ourselves, why am I becoming upset? Why am I angry? No, this will not come in a day. It has to come through certain exercises, I will at the end, I'm with you on Wednesday also, I'll be with you. So we will do this step by step, but it is based on our reflections, because we are conscious animals. We are also adaptable. But there are certain things we'll have to cultivate. And one thing is about optimism. If we are not optimistic, you have a choice. The choice will be made by you. Are you optimistic or are you pessimistic? There is a person called Steven Pinker. Steven Pinker, you can Google him. He's an evolutionary psychologist and he has written many books. And in fact, he's one of the favorite authors of Bill Gates. That should not matter. But the point is that he's an excellent thinker. He's one of the modern day great thinkers. I consider two persons, great modern day thinker. One is of our present times. One is Yuval Noah Harari, and another is Steven Pinker. So, of course, Bill Gates says that Steven Pinker is a better. Now, Steven Pinker says that if you look at the world today, what actually is becoming better? There is much less one-to-one cruelty, more empathy. We don't just kill each other just like that. Little more empathy. Though we have polluted this world, that's the worst thing that has happened. But at the same time, as a human being, as a human thing, we are becoming better. Things happen. Wrong things are happening to us. That's true. There are phases in our life which will be very stressful. There are times that we like this pandemic that came, which is many of us, we lost our very near and dear ones. Our close relatives are in the ventilator, having very tough time. But if you look at it overall terms, those who are those who were born in 60s, I'm asking them to reflect. When we were born, what are the things? How the world was? Like, for example, in order to make a railway reservation, I had to, those were the card days, and no return reservation. I go to one place, I used to go to study from my hometown to Allahabad, and there I would book a ticket, railway reservation, and there's no return reservation. And I will have to go wait stand in the queue for whole day, maybe 2 days. I have taken once, I remember, it took me 2 days to make a railway booking, and that was in 1980s, mid-80s. Today, you can do it from the comfort of your home. Your banking you can do. Many things have, and let me tell, all said and done, availability of food has also grown for people. So there are maybe people are still dying of hunger. I will not contest it. I am in a rural management institute, but it is much less, statistically speaking, much less. We are slightly becoming better. But problem is, if I have programmed myself to see things negatively, to be pessimistic, it's very difficult to break that pessimism. Some people always say, I've been looted, things are becoming bad, nothing can happen. Well, here everyone is corrupt. Then you will see, there's a saying in psychology that we see the world as we are, not as things are. So we don't see that way. So optimism is what? Optimism and initiative. Initiative is, if something is wrong, can I put it straight? Think, can I rectify it? Can I do something about it? Yes, I can. Maybe in my own small way, I can. Let me do it. So these two are very important things. And I will just, in the self-regulation, mindfulness. Yes, sir. I see. I hear some people. Yes, sir.
Sir, can we close by 5 minutes?
Yes. I spent 1 minute for that. 5 minutes I will close. No worries. So mindfulness, I will come back to it day after tomorrow. But I'm just telling you that mindfulness comprises of certain things. One at the physical level, focused breathing, gratitude. We'll have to be, first of all, the sense of gratitude. It should come naturally. We will have to practice gratitude. Gratitude for what? Gratitude for what? Every day I wake up, I tell myself, oh my God, what a wonderful day it is. And I'm so thankful, whoever has done it. I'm so thankful that I have this life. And I have this life to enjoy all these things around me. And this is, and I should be thankful for all the small things that people, like in our culture, unfortunately, we do not have a practice of saying thank you to people. Those who people do something, they give us a glass of water, they do this thing, that thing, that whatever they do, I will have to be thankful to them. Present focus. The focus on the most of the time we have been wasting on either thinking about past, oh, he did that, I took that decision, or the future. And in the process, we forget what is happening to me now. Now the process, when I'm talking to you, I should enjoy the process of talking to you. Present focus. Focus on the present. And because it's called a present, because it's a present to us, it's a gift to us. I do not know what will happen next half an hour down the time. I do not know what I have forgotten, because past is past. I cannot do anything about it. It has happened. So if I cannot do something about something in the past, I should not worry about it. So I should only. Then the second most important thing is cognitive reappraisal. Changing your thoughts, attribution process. That you constantly, cognitive reappraisal is this attribution process is, we may, okay, why did he say this? Someone, I drive on a highway every day. I cover 50 kilometers. And earlier, some 20 years back, my wife used to be always with me those days. And I will drive, if someone overtakes me, I will feel, oh my God, he has overtaken. I should not allow him to overtake. I will also rush. My wife said, why are you doing this? He has some different urgency. He has different vehicle. He has a different destination. He had a different starting point. So you don't compete. You don't think, maybe he was upset. Someone said angry words to me. I should match his anger with my anger. Why should I? He's angry maybe because he's upset. Maybe he has lost something, which I do not know. I do not know what has happened with him. Whether he had food or not, I do not know. So why should I do that? So I will talk more about it, and when we discuss stress day after tomorrow. Acting in accordance with values. We should have some. Our values are the principles which makes us stand where we are. And I have already talked about optimism. And I think I should stop here and take up the rest in the next session whenever I have with you. And at this point, I'll say, because I have still, my clock says 2 more minutes, and I would not like this 2 more minutes to go like this. I would like some, before we part, some reactions from you. Okay, sir. Anything else? Any question? Any idea that you would like to share? Thank you so much. Thank you for being so patient with me and listening and participating. And any idea? But I would appreciate one thing, if you can send along with this in the chat box sometime from now, some maybe to Dr. Panda, anything that you want specifically from my sessions, 2 more sessions I have with you on Wednesday. And please let me know anything specially that you want on these issues. I'll be open talking about it. Thank you so much. Can you explain? Sorry, I SQ. What is SQ? EQ, or it was EQ?
Spiritual question. Spiritual intelligence. Spiritual question, sir.
Huh?
Spiritual question.
Emotional quotient. Emotional quotient.
Spiritual questions.
Yes, spiritual quotient. Let us forget the terminology. It's spiritualism. But today there's no time. But very important question. I'm noting it down, and Wednesday I will take it up. I don't know whether I'll be able to satisfy you, but I will take. It is already 3:30 exactly, so I'm closing it with, I was given time up to 3:30. Thank you, Dr. Panda. Thank all the participants for being so patient with me. Thanks. Bye-bye. See you.
Thank you so much, sir. It is really indeed a great opportunity to talk to you and getting the spirit of a spirited man. Okay, making us understanding the basics of we don't know about ABC of emotional intelligence, and you took us back to make us understand ABC of emotional intelligence and talk about how the brain functions. And from that, you talk about self-regulation and emotional intelligence, the core of the talk with a academic pursuit or point of view. At the same time, it's a practical point of view, and I have seen most of them are encouragingly, engagingly, happily working with you, and they want to give you answer. And the whole lot of answers there with all the questions that you asked. Most of them are interested to answer, and they answered properly. Am I right? And just a champion of teaching, and I bow to you, and I welcome you again on 23rd, because 23rd you have two sessions. That is a scheduled session on 23rd. Please, sir, thank you very, very much to listen to me, and thank you so much, and thank you all of you for coming. And I hope this session will. Anyone have any questions? Please ask. I don't think that anybody has questions. Okay, because he has almost answered all the questions. Because I have seen a classical talk, he was talking about a classical teacher, but generally classical teachers, they do not permit students to ask questions. But I have seen a most modern, ultra-modern teacher who gives a permission to think, to work, to understand, and by that learn. Learning is a great opportunity for all of us. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful session, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, excuse me, shall we close down, all of you? Thank you. Yes, Kameshwar Rao garu? Yes?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Subro, sir.
Yes. Sir, first session's feedback or attendance link, will you
sir,
please
both the
provide?
sessions feedback has been given right now in a WhatsApp group. Please work in. But one thing is that you have given us an email ID, am I right? So you
My
have
email
to
ID is there, sir. My email ID is there. Okay, sir.
Your email ID is there? So you can log
Yes,
into
sir.
that and give your attendance, sir, and
Okay,
feedback.
thank you.
Sir,
Thank you very much
Sir,
for
have
the
you
session,
forwarded?
sir.
Sir, have you
Thank you.
forwarded
We
the
have to
link to
thank
email
him.
ID?
Sir, and then you have given us an email ID, am I right? The ATAL portal.
Yes.
That email ID only you have to give us a reply. Okay?
Yes.
Is that okay, madam? Yes, we do not recognize somebody in some other's name, because we have to upload the the same number and same name. Is that okay? And your roll number has been given, am I right? Okay, so you just write down
So
your
attendance we have to give you?
Yes, ma'am. I have taken already your attendance, ma'am. And we will talk about the next attendance. Maybe there are some people, they might skip at that time when I took attendance. Because Google gives me a
Sir,
attendance system.
yeah, Google Chrome attendance will automatically take your attendance.
Yeah. That we have taken, madam. Thank you.
Sir, I have given email ID of Yahoo, but when I have to attend the meeting, I have to use my Gmail ID.
Didn't get you, sir.
Sir, I have given my Yahoo ID, but for attending this meeting, I have to use my Gmail ID. So it will be.
That will do. But you just write down the Yahoo email ID that you have given. That's all. That's okay. That will do.
Sir, one more query. The Excel sheet which you have shared of the list of participants, there my college name is incomplete.
Forget it, man. Forget it. 1 minute. What is that now?
Okay.
What is being written over there in your ATAL web page, the same thing has come to us. We just downloaded whatever you have written, because we have neither edited it or not we can do anything. Don't worry about that. You just send me that your correct things, I will correct it. I don't mind.
I have sent email, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Next time onwards, I request all the participants, don't give attendance in the chat board. Okay, nothing to do. No, if you have to thank somebody or at the end of the day or any queries, and it's okay. But no other things, don't do it. Okay, and thank you so much, and we'll catch up tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Sharp.
Thank you, sir.
Will we
Thank
get
you.
the recording?
Sir, once.
Thank you.
Will we get the recording?
Sir,
Yeah,
one
yeah,
thing I
yeah.
want to say. Well, I want to
Thank
ask. Sir,
Yes,
one
ma'am.
thing I
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
ask. My name shows at 179 number in Excel sheet, but
Uh-huh.
my ID is given 246.
It's okay, madam. Why are you bothered about that? We
Yes,
have
my ID
generated a
will be.
number. We have generated a number that ID number we have given you. That is that. Okay. Don't
Okay,
worry about
okay.
the serial number 174 or
Thank.
178 or whatever. Okay.
Okay, okay. Thank
Is
you,
that
sir.
okay?
Thank you,
Sir,
thank you.
can you provide some
Panda sir, can I say something, please?
Yeah, ma'am.
Panda sir,
Ma'am.
can I say something?
Yeah.
Sir, it will be really good if you can share the PPTs also because there is very less time and we cannot take everything down in listening. So either we can listen to it or we can take it down. So it is very hard for us to just get down everything. Yeah.
Definitely, madam. I'll ask the
Hello.
PPT and I'll share it to all of you on the end of this day. Let's see that what
Thank you, sir.
possibility is there. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Sir,
If he sends me, I hope that on 23rd I'll share the PPTs, not today. Because I'll
So
ask
please
all the
share.
PPTs are first, second, third sessions.
So please share the PPTs to email ID, sir, because my number is not
Yeah,
working
yeah, we'll do
on
it. We'll do
WhatsApp.
it, madam. We'll do it.
Thank you, sir.
I'll do
Sir,
it.
in the
Definitely.
I did
morning
not.
session, you
Hello,
said
sir.
that there will be a quiz at the end.
Hello, sir. I did not get my WhatsApp group yet. I'm not in the WhatsApp group. I tried checking
You're not there
again.
in the WhatsApp group? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Please send to my personal mail. There's a number 95154888997. I'll add you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
No,
Okay.
in
Thank you,
that
sir.
I have given a number downstairs. Am I right? You just write down
Yes,
both
sir.
the things. HOD sir's number or my number. Any number you just request us, we'll add you. Is that okay?
Okay, sir. Sir, can you repeat your number, sir? 94?
95154
Okay.
88997.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, in the morning you said that there will be some quiz or test at the end of this FDP.
End of the session, not today, madam. We will be conducting it on the 25th, ma'am.
But can you provide some rubrics? Will it be MCQ based, objective type?
Objective type, madam. Objective type, ABCD, objective type. But ensure it that 60% marks is required. Okay. And we are here to help you out. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Hopefully the material will be shared before the test.
Yeah. Materials will be given. And after that, we will be going for the examination, by the way. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Is that I will be giving you a Google form. Okay. And we will be giving you 2 hours of time. Okay. 1 hour, 2 hours. Now we are talking about 30 questions and 1 hour time that we are talking about. We'll give you 1 hour time. We'll give you at 3:30. Okay, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, 3:30 around on 25th of on the last day, and you can give it by 6 o'clock. Okay, and then we'll finalize. And unless we give your attendance and 60% marks, you cannot generate your what do you call it? No, and you have to give a feedback by another feedback to the AICT, and after that only you can download your certificate. Is that okay, ma'am?
Okay, that is okay, sir. The only request is, if possible, try to provide some additional time instead of 2-3 hours, because it may coincide with the meeting, unavoidable meeting at the same time.
So you want me that it should give more time there, but 1 hour I'll take, but whatever, I'll fix the hour to 1 hour. Okay. So I'll be giving, 5 hours. Okay. 4 o'clock we are giving, at night 10 o'clock you should return it back. Is that okay with all of you?
Yeah, night time will be okay. Okay, thank you.
Oh, that will do. Okay, because no, I'll not give you within 1 hour, give it like students, but no, we'll give you a time so that that is a possibility. I understand your reservations. So according to that will go, ma'am. Is that
Thank
okay?
You. Thank you.
Anybody has any questions? Queries? No. Thank you. We can close the session right now. Thank you. Bye.